I would say 6 hours. So he's a Royal Navy man from the UK. Again, all that stress, loud noise, gunfire, lack of sleep. Imagine the sirens going off, your drill sergeant kicking your ass. No one could help him until, of course, he came to me. And guess what? Now he has silence. Okay? Alex from the United States of America got his tinnitus from multiple concussions. He's a sportsman. He came to me. Now he has complete silence. His pulsatile tinnitus is gone and his vertigo is completely gone too. He was explaining how he couldn't even get up from the couch without getting dizzy and puking or feel like he was going to puke. No one could help him. Guess what? I helped him. This is Vincent from the United States of America again, okay? His cause was dental infection and stress, okay? He had visual snow as well. If you guys have visual snow, it's a visual problem as well. Guess what? He now has silence. The list goes on. Marwan, if I'm saying that correctly, from Egypt, okay? He got his tinnitus from an ototoxic medication, trazodone. He came to me and now he has silence. Anthony, musician, got his tinnitus from noise trauma. He tried habituation, had it for 1 year, came to me. His symptoms were only getting worse, came to me, bada bing, bada boom, all gone. Jemana, okay, if I'm saying that right, Jemana. Severe stress. She was a law student, lack of sleep, worrying about her life. Had her symptoms for 4 months, only getting worse, found me. Boom, after about month 1, started going down. She woke up in silence, sent me a message saying, thank you so much, I now have silence. I have so many more testimonials. You see these are all videos. Could you imagine how much longer this video would go for? And this isn't even everyone else. This is like, I'll just get, a bunch of people here. You've found me, everything's going to be okay. But you have to know what to do. So don't leave the video, okay? So let's keep going. What we want to do now is we're going to go through my own story of silence, and then right after that we're going to get into the actual domino theory itself and how you can create your own custom plan, and I'm going to teach you how silence is actually obtained. Let's get into my story. And yes, that is me on the left there at about 14 years old, which is a far cry from me on the bottom right. I do promise I look different, and I do promise that is the same person. Funny story, I actually started playing drums to impress a girl. At my school at St. Leonard's College, I actually was at a school assembly, and one of my best friends at the time was playing drums. The assembly had a band, and a band played 2 songs. And the girl that I liked was actually sitting right in front of me. And as my friend was playing drums, this girl turns to her friend and goes, "Oh my God, that guy playing drums is so cute. That's so cool that he can play the drums." And I thought, oh my God, this is my way in. I thought, all I have to do is learn to play the drums and this girl will like me and, I'll get the girl, right? That's every teenage boy's dream, right? And so I went home to my mum and I said, you know what, I want to go and play drums. And she said, sure, there's a teacher at the school. You can get the same teacher that other guy's getting. And so I went and I had my first lesson, and I actually excelled. Maybe you're listening right now, you've had this experience where you just do something and you just instantly realize you have a talent for it. Bam, I'm just good at this and I just get it. You just get it. So that was me with drums, and I practiced for years and years and years, and I loved it. And I loved it so much that I never had to go, oh, well, I guess I'm doing drums now. No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I played for well over a decade, and I became an excellent musician. I became very in demand. I got accepted easily into the best music university in the whole of Australia, called the Victorian College of the Arts. And you can see me here. I was playing in big concerts, and I was playing at gigs with my friends, and I was playing at festivals, and I was playing with professional jazz musicians. I was doing a 3-year course of contemporary Bachelor of Music, which is jazz fusion, very complex, and I absolutely love it. I still play drums to this day. One interesting thing, I played so much that I had a teacher at VCA, which is Victorian College of the Arts, called Graham Morgan. He's a very famous jazz musician, featured all over the world and so on. And I did the whole 3-year course worth of drumming in 3 months. And he said, what the F am I supposed to do with you now? Right? So that's how much I practiced. But eventually, and maybe you noticed this too, maybe this is how yours came on, I woke up one morning with a ringing in my ears. And I remember getting up and thinking, what is that? Is it like an appliance has been left on? Is it a truck outside my home? What is that noise? And I got up out of my bed because I'd just woken up. I went to my door, and as I turned my door handle, I went, like it just hurt my ears. And I thought, do I have a cold? Do I have a flu? What is going on? That was the beginning of my tinnitus. And over the next 2 weeks, I didn't really look on the internet that much. I didn't even know what an ENT was. I had no idea. My tinnitus and hyperacusis, they came on at the same time. Over 2 weeks, got so severe. I started to get headaches. I would feel nauseous. I would feel sick. I could hear it over everything. I would sit down. I remember so well. It was so heartbreaking. I would sit down at my drum kit, or I would sit down to get on the bus to go to school, my university, or I would sit down to watch TV, or I'd try and have a conversation with my mother, and I would just walk away. And I remember my mother getting really upset, especially my father too, but you know how mothers are. They love their kids. Because I was living at home at this time. It was years ago. And my mother would get really upset, like, you don't want to talk to me, you're ignoring me. And my life was just falling apart because of this noise in my head that no one else could hear. And that was the onset of my tinnitus and hyperacusis. My life really fell apart. I mean, you know, it's embarrassing for especially a man to admit this, but I was crying every day. I was like, you know, punching myself in the head from just being so frustrated. I just wanted the pain to stop. ENTs couldn't help me. It went on for many years. It was getting worse. I had to drop out of the Victorian College of the Arts. I turned to drugs and alcohol. So I was taking ecstasy, cocaine, marijuana. One of my friends had a prescription for ADHD medication, Ritalin. We would crush that up into lines just to get away from the pain. This is a picture of me in 2016 about to get nasal surgery because one of the ENTs said, well, maybe if we just widen your nasal passageways with invasive surgery, then you might be able to expel more mucus from your sinuses and that might improve your hearing and blah, blah. I don't know what his reasoning was. Cost me $2,000. I vomited blood for 3 days. Didn't help me at all. I also tried habituation. I tried cranial sacral therapy. I tried hypnosis. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it was horrific. It was really bad. And during this time, I was told these things. Diet doesn't matter. I was told lifestyle changes won't help. I was told supplements and plant medicine don't work. I was also told living with it is the only option. And I think that that's the thing that really scared me, and perhaps that's scaring you right now. So I was addicted to drugs, okay? I was about 23 years old. My life was over. I had to drop out of university. I was ostracized from my friends. My mother and father were worried sick about me. I had such a great life, which was now gone. And I thought, I'm going to have to go one or two ways. It's a fork in the road. It's two options. And it's confronting to say, and I hope I don't freak you out too much, but it's important for you to know this. I thought, I'm going to have to get silence or I'm going to commit suicide. And it's very scary, okay? And obviously you know which one worked. But that's where I was. So, as I said, I was about 23 years old. And I remembered something. And so this is really where my story of silence began. And it's fascinating to look back on it. So I remembered that throughout my life, from the ages of about 9 to about 18 years old, I had a condition called ulcerative colitis. Maybe you've heard of it. And basically it meant, it's very embarrassing, I had constant diarrhea. My mother is a nurse, by the way. She was back then and she still is now. And so she knew all the specialists. And so she took me to all the gastroenterologists and I got all the, the scopes put up my backside and I had all the procedures and stuff. And the gastroenterologist said to me, yes, you are pooing yourself every day and kids are bullying you at school, but don't change your diet because that's not going to have any impact on what you eat. Can you believe that? And I believed it. And my mother believed it too because, these are the experts, right? The ENTs are the experts. They know best, right? Wrong. We'll get to that. So what happened to me was I was put on a high dose of Salofolk, okay? And that did help for a bit, but eventually it stopped working. So we've gone back in time now, just so it's clear. This is before tinnitus, but this matters. At the age of 18, I was scouring the internet for help. I was sick of being bullied. I was sick of people literally smelling the stench of poo on me as I'd pooed myself in school. It was awful. I was not popular with the women. Eventually, I found people on the internet, okay, just as you found me now, talking about a raw vegan diet. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to go raw vegan. It's not a good idea. So I was so desperate though back then at the age of 18 with ulcerative colitis that I tried it. And wouldn't you know, within 5 weeks' time, my stomach issue had completely cleared up.